Hello, it's Sarah. Day 11 of Read the Entire Bible in a Year. Thank you for joining me again. I'm actually on day 12 right now, but what happened is because I am looking for work that's really flexible to allow me to be able to do volunteer work of about 60 hours a month, then I also need the kind of job that's going to have the higher pay, and I'm having trouble finding that right now. So I'm doing DoorDash in the evenings to be able to get some income. And sometimes I don't get done until between 2 and 4 a.m. when I'm ready to read. And so that's why sometimes I'm a little tired when we're talking. I'm trying to get it to where I do this in the morning instead, because obviously it's becoming a struggle. So I'm making it my priority, which means I'm going to have to find a better time slot for it. So hopefully you are able to do that yourself as well. So today we're going to be reading in Genesis chapters 33 and 34. We're going to be finishing talking about Esau coming to meet Jacob. And remember, he prayed about it. So when he says that he's seen God's face, he was meaning he's seen God looking upon him and answering his prayers. But when he separates things out, like we started seeing him doing in the last chapter that we read, he was doing that in order to identify how Esau was going to react. So if he reacted badly, then he would have done something to protect the more precious things that were in the back of that caravan. So let's go ahead and read Genesis 33 and 34, and we'll talk a little bit about 34 in more detail afterwards. So Genesis chapter 33. Now Jacob raised his eyes and saw Esau coming, and 400 men were with him. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. He put the female servants and their children in front, Leah and her children after them, and Rachel and Joseph behind them. Then he himself went ahead of them and bowed down to the earth 7 times as he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him, and he embraced him and kissed him, and they burst into tears. When he raised his eyes and saw the woman and the children, he said, "Who are these with you?" To which he said, "The children with whom God has favored your servant." At that the female servants came forward with their children and bowed down, and Leah too came forward with her children, and they bowed down. Then Joseph came forward with Rachel, and they bowed down. Esau said, "What is the purpose of all this camp of travelers that I have met?" He replied, "In order to find favor in the eyes of my Lord." Then Esau said, "I have a great many possessions, my brother. Keep what is yours." However, Jacob said, "No, please. If I have found favor in your eyes, you must take my gift from my hand, because I brought it so that I could see your face. And I have seen your face as though seeing God's face, in that you received me with pleasure. Take, please, the gift conveying my blessing that was brought to you, for God has favored me, and I have everything I need." And he continued to urge him, so that he took it. Later Esau said, "Let us move out and go, and let me go in advance of you." But he said to him, "My Lord is aware that the children are delicate, and that in my care are sheep and cattle nursing their young. If they are driven too quickly for one day, then the whole flock will die. Let my Lord please go on ahead of his servant, but I will continue the journey more slowly, at the pace of my livestock and of the children, until I come to my Lord at Seir." Then Esau said, "Please let me leave some of my people with you." To this he said, "Why do this? Just let me find favor in the eyes of my Lord." So that day Esau went on his way back to Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and he built a house for himself, and he made shelters for his herd. That was why he named the place Succoth. After journeying from Padan Aram, Jacob arrived safely at the city of Shechem in the land of Canaan, and he set up his camp near the city. Then he acquired a portion of the field where he pitched his tent from the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem, for 100 pieces of money. There he set up an altar and called it God, the God of Israel. Chapter 34. Now Dinah, Jacob's daughter by Leah, used to go out to spend time with the young woman of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, a chieftain of the land, saw her, he took her and lay down with her and violated her. And he became very attached to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he fell in love with the young woman and spoke persuasively to her. Finally, Shechem said to Hamor, his father, "Get me this young woman to be my wife." When Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter, his sons were with his herd in the field. So Jacob kept silent until they returned. Later, Hamor, Shechem's father, went out to speak with Jacob, but the sons of Jacob heard about it, and they returned from the field right away. They were offended and very angry because he had disgraced Israel by lying down with Jacob's daughter, something that should not be done. Hamor spoke with them, saying, "My son Shechem longs for your daughter. Please give her to him as wife, and form marriage alliances with us. Give us your daughters, and take our daughters for yourselves. You may dwell with us, and the land will become available for you. Dwell and carry on trade in it, and settle in it." Then Shechem said to his father and to her brothers, "Let me find favor in your eyes, and I will give you whatever you ask. You can demand from me a very high bride price and gift. I am willing to give whatever you may say to me. Just give me the young woman as a wife." And Jacob's sons answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. They said to him, "We cannot possibly do such a thing, to give our sister to a man who is not circumcised, for that is a disgrace to us. We can only consent on this condition, that you become like us and circumcise all your males. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters for ourselves, and we will dwell with you and become one people. But if you do not listen to us and get circumcised, then we will take our daughters and go." Their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. The young man did not delay in doing what they asked, because he found delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was the most honorable of the whole house of his father. So Hamor and his son Shechem went to the city gate and spoke to the men of the city, saying, "These men wish to be at peace with us. Let them dwell in the land and carry on trade in it, for the land is large enough to accommodate them. We can take their daughters as wives, and our daughters we can give to them. Only on this one condition will the men consent to dwell with us in order to become one people, that every male among us be circumcised, just the way they are. Then will not their possessions, their wealth, and all their livestock be ours? So let us give them our consent, that they may dwell with us." All those going out by the gate of his city listened to Hamor and to his son Shechem, and all the males got circumcised, all those going out of the city gate. However, on the third day, when they were still in pain, 2 sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and went into the unsuspecting city and killed every male. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the sword, and then took Dinah from Shechem's house and left. Jacob's other son came upon the slain men and plundered the city because they had defiled their sister. They took their flocks, their herds, their donkeys, and whatever was in the city and in the field. They also took all their possessions, captured all their little children and their wives, and plundered everything in the houses. At this Jacob said to Simeon and to Levi, "You have brought great trouble on me in making me a stench to the inhabitants of the land, to the Canaanites and the Perizzites. I am few in number, and they will certainly gather together to attack me, and I will be annihilated, I and my house." But they said, "Should anyone treat our sister like a prostitute?" They're kind of interesting reading there. And I consider Shechem was the most honorable of their house in that one scripture brought out, and yet look at what he did. He somewhat forcibly laid down with Dinah, Jacob's daughter. So they were supposed to be good associates that she was hanging around, but what was around them? Remember when Jacob and Leah, with their parents, didn't want their sons marrying the woman of the land because of what they were acting like or treating the parents like? It wasn't good. And so we see in this situation, it's kind of the opposite. They, rather than reaching out to find someone, she was taken because she was in the wrong place, because she was associating with those individuals who weren't worshiping God. And so the most honorable of the household actually wound up hurting her. And that's what led to all of these problems with the tribes. It was a lot of information in those sections, in that one chapter. Very cool. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. You have a great day. Doing number 12 soon. Bye.